And hi guys, welcome to Microsoft Word. This is your assignment 3, and we're going to be working on case number 2, which is on WD 171. Again, this is a walkthrough of the assignment. This is as if a student was doing it themselves, and that was WD 171. It looks like we're going to be working with creating a multi-page report, and we're working on case number 2. Okay, so it looks like we have from WD 171 to WD 172, and there's only about 7 steps. I've already gone online. Excuse me. I've downloaded my case 2 study files. I see that the only one in there is evaluation. I look on my book and I can see the data file I need is evaluation.doc. Let's just open that up and let's see what our rubric is for this particular assignment. Alright, looking at our rubric, we know that we're going to be turning in one paper, the evaluation report, and it's going to be worth about 16 points. Alright, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot here that's going to take a whole lot long or a whole long time, so let's just jump in and start doing it. So on page 171, the first thing I'm going to do is just open up my document, which is evaluation. Okay. And let's start with problem number 1. Okay, we're going to open the file name evaluation and save it as evaluation report. Now, as always, I like to use my desktop. So file, save as, go into my desktop. And we're going to save this as evaluation report. Alright, so we're going to jump straight into the troubleshoot, and we're going to adjust the document so the following things are true. We want the heading, problems requiring updated passwords, its body text, and the smart graphic to appear on the last page in landscape orientation, with the rest of the report in portrait. So we know the very last page of this is going to be landscape, everything else is going to be portrait. In section 1, the heading summary is displayed at the top of page 2. So this right here, summary, is the start of page 2. The document header contains your first and last names, but not a content control for the document title. Neither the header nor the footer is displayed on page 1, and the footer is not displayed on the last page of the document. Hint, after you break the link between the sections, you'll need to delete the contents of the footer in one section. So let's start off with the first one. The heading, problems acquiring updated passwords. Okay, so here's my problems acquiring updating passwords. It's body text and the smart art. So the body text and the smart art graphic is going to be its own separate final page. So let's just go ahead and put in a manual line break. So just click on the front, shift enter. Sorry, what I meant to say was control enter. Alright, so now it's in its final page, and the next step was to make it to be a portrait or landscape orientation, which it looks like it already is, and everything else to be in portrait orientation. Our next step is to change everything to portrait orientation except that last page. Now you could have done what I did with the keyboard and inserted the break, or you could have come up here to page layout, chosen your break, and inserted a next page section. Now I have opened up my navigation on the left, so I can see where things are navigated at, where things are organized. I can see that problems acquiring updated passwords is its own page now. So I'm going to highlight everything that's not that page, go to page layout, orientation, and do portrait. You can see that my first 3 pages now are orientated to a portrait, with my last one is a landscape. In section 1, the heading summary is displayed at the top of page 2. So I'm coming up here to summary, and I'm going to insert a break. So now summary is at the top of page 2. Just make sure that everything else is where it's supposed to be still. We're good to go. The document header contains your name and last name, but not a content control for the document title. Okay, so our header's up here. You can see it has your name and a document title. So let's just click on the header, double click it, and let's just delete this document holder. You can come up here, header and footer tools, and we can go design, and we can choose sections. And so I'm just going to right click and remove my content control for this. And I'm going to change the name over to just my name. Now the next thing that's said in the header, we don't want it to be displayed on the first page. To accomplish that, just click on different first page under the design, and it will remove that. We don't want any header. So now we have a header that's on the second page, the third page, and the fourth page, and it's just our name, no document control. And we don't want the header or the footer displayed on page 1. So let's go get rid of that footer now too. So there's header, and there's no footer. The footer is not displayed on the last page of the document. To accomplish this, we need to break the link between the document on the last page and the rest of it. So we're going to double click on our footer. We're going to come up here to the header and footer tools design, and we're going to unlink it to previous. Let's make sure that it's unlinked. Alright. Delete that. And there we go. With it unlinked from the previous ones, you can see it's page 3 of 4 here, but no footer on this one. On our third troubleshoot on pages 2 and 3, we want to promote the headings as necessary so all the headings are on the same level. What that means is this navigation tab over here, I can see summary and orientation. Orientation is demoted below summary. Accommodations is promoted above itinerary. Budget is even below accommodations. And I can tell that by when I close things. So I want these all to be on the same level. You can also tell by the fact they're different font sizes. So I'm just going to right click and promote them all the way until they're at the same level. And so it looks like my summary, orientation, accommodations, itinerary, budget, and problem requiring updated password are now all the same level. Now we're on to page 172 in step 4. We're going to increase the paragraph spacing before the first paragraphs, Masters of Architecture on page 1 as much as necessary so that the paragraph is located about the 2-inch mark on the vertical ruler. Now I'm going to close my navigation pane, and I'm going to come up here to my view, and I'm going to choose to view the rulers. And so now we have our navigation pane, we have the rulers on top and bottom, and we want to move this Masters of Architecture down to where it is about the 2-inch mark. You can see it's about 1 right now. To accomplish this, I'm going to click on right above before Masters of Architecture. I'm just going to hit my enter button a few times. And I'd say that's about halfway. You can see, maybe delete 1. Okay. It's about halfway in the middle of the page. Looks like a cover sheet. And you can see because I entered a new section for a summary, I did a page break, that my whole page didn't drop down. It stayed exactly where it was and only modified the location of the headers. And our text should be centered vertically on the page so it looks like a cover page. On page 2, remove any extra rows and columns in the table and sort the information in a logical way. So on page 2 we have this columns and tables, and so we have one starting right here. We have a column that we don't need. So I highlighted the column, and I'm just going to delete it. And then I'm going to come through here and I'm going to select the rows and I'm going to delete those as well. Dadgummit. There we go. Okay, so we've deleted all the extraneous information. The next thing we're going to do is sort this. And it looks like a logical way would be email 1, 2, 3, and 4. To accomplish that, I'm going to come up here to the table tools. I'm going to go to layout with my table selected. And I'm going to choose to sort it. Now I said I wanted to sort by email, and I want it to be ascending. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it sorted everything to match. Then we want to format this table with the style that applies green accent 6. So select the table, go to design. Let's choose green accent 6. Let's see. There we go. What we're looking for is that green accent 6 shading in the title row. So you could have chosen a couple different ones. I chose this one. Make sure that green is in the title. And let's remove any bold formatting. So just go home. All bold's gone now. Now we're going to add a fourth shape to the Smart Art graphic with the text submit complete, form, photo, and fee to post office clerk. Resize the graphic to fill the white space below the document text. Then we're going to save it. So coming down here to the very bottom, we have this wonderful graphic. We need to add a new piece to it, and we need to expand it out. So first, let's go ahead and just expand it out. All right, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and add that new piece first. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to add a shape to it. So we're going to come over here and click on Smart Tools Design, Add Shape, and it made one that fit inside the confines of the image. And we're going to add text to the shape by clicking on it and typing in Submit Completed, Form, Photo, and Fee to Post Office Clerk. Then we want to expand this out, and I'm going to keep my aspect ratio to where it fills the white space. And see, I expanded it a little too big, so it's actually jumped it to the next page. So let's shrink that down. Alright, last thing you have to do is just save the document and turn it into me. Close that, upload it, and then your assignment 3 for Microsoft Word tutorial in your case study problem 2 will be complete. Alright guys, if you have any problems, let me know.